Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mahker question and answer day, if you like. So today I'm going to be answering the questions that you guys have put forward to me because I'm a very busy person and I haven't got time to reply to so many emails when it comes to basic questions, etc. So if you've got a question, drop it below.
Okay, first question. Those retro headlights look amazing. Can you get a warm light rather than the cooler blue-white LED?
So these Holly lights are actually a warm light. So I want to say they're based on a classic light. So yes, they do tick that box. And they are available in amber also.
Have you ever shipped an M57 conversion to Australia?
So this has been getting a lot of heat. So a lot of people have been asking me for this. And I will ship one to Australia, guys, but I almost want to proof run it here, if you like. Me and a chap have been in talks about doing an 8 HP kit. And he wants to buy his gearbox from X place and his crawler from another place, and right now we are doing our first one and we've had some hurdles and things. If it's from an F series, it doesn't need to be unlocked. If it's from a K series, it's okay, it works, and vice versa. So if my customer is going to come up against that problem, my name is going to be dirt. So I want to sell a kit that works. I proof test here. We're building a demonstrator 90 that we can literally put any transmission and package into with our adapter mounts. I want to proof test the kit, lift it out of the truck, drop it in a box, drop all its oils and ship it around the globe. That's what I'm prepared to do. But unfortunately, you need to pay me for that time and that pleasure. So there you go.
Do you keep traction control and off-road functionality with an engine swap?
Yes, we do. We've completed that with Project Precious. So that has full ABS traction control. It also has all the features. So traction controls kicking in when you need it to kick in. Not that I think it's any good in the Land Rover thing, but we can do it.
Are you able to provide any guidance on how an owner would go about advising any authorities, thinking DVLA, on such a change? This is on the M57 swap video.
So what we do, we provide you with an engineer's report that dictates that the engine has been done to British standards. We try to follow every single manufacturer's spec, so lambda sensors, catalyst converters where required, etc., depending on the period and the age of the vehicle. So if your car has a DPF, we fit a DPF. If your car comes with a cat, we fit a cat, etc.
What's the difference between TD5 R380 Stumpy and the 300 TDI?
So the kind of answer is in your question. So the Stumpy one is about this big, and the one in the 300 TDI is about this big. The difference is the input shaft, that is it.
How much horsepower can you put on an M57 without needing to beef up the axles, diffs, etc.?
So this is quite an interesting one. So a lot of people say, oh, the axles can't take it, the gearbox can't take it. They can't take it, guys, if it's worn out. If things are not properly serviced, heavily abused, oils haven't been changed frequently, and there's a lot of play. Like people, I know my friend Luke calls it stop that clunk. That clunk is there, guys, because people haven't serviced the car regularly. They've used the wrong oils in the wrong transmission because it's just cheap. And the amount of farmers and tradesmen are the worst for it, I want to say, where builders or and farmers, they can be just as bad where they go, oh, I've missed a service, it'll be fine. And we had a Puma in the other day, thrown an engine, the farmer had his head in his hands, he's like, Dave, how much is a new engine? I told him it's about £12,000. We dropped the sump and lo and behold, looked to be fine, and absolutely the oil had turned and congealed to slime because he couldn't be bothered to change the oil. So back to the question there, service things regularly, fit the correct oils, fit the correct grease. Like you've got to ask yourself, how often should you change your swivel housing grease? We say every 6,000 miles to look after your axles, look after your CV joints, but nobody does.
So how much horsepower could you put through?
So I want to say, let's say base it on a 20,000 mile Puma. Providing it's been serviced and maintained, I would estimate 250 is a safe number, something like that. And maybe 400 newton-meters of torque.
For those of us who don't yet have the pennies for an M57, what can you offer in terms of power upgrades on a 200 TDI, and how impactful will this feel and rough budget?
So the best bang for your buck with a 200 TDI or a 300 TDI, intercooler is a great upgrade. A Turbo Technics Turbo, we carry them on the shelf if you need one or a like. We are working on a BMW Turbo, but it's very much in the guinea pig stages. Injectors are a funny one. So we've played about with injectors in the past. Injectors can cause turbo issues, turbo failure. But we can give you slightly bigger nozzles. So we've took a bit of Cummins technology and put it into a 200 TDI, one that we ran across Scram last year. The car was absolutely faultless until our client decided to start giving it def. And def is what I mean is keeping it in the 1.5 bar of boost area for about 15 minutes, going around sand dunes in a high humidity area. So I wouldn't recommend that. So we can do this reliably, but there's a fine line of reliability. So we can go just past the line, long as you respect your engine and you don't hold it the foot down for too long, etc. But it's a great upgrade.
I'll insert the Marrow turbo impression there. Can you fit a TD5 bonnet to an M57 swap Puma, or do you need the bulge to make space for the M57?
So if you've got my engine mount, you can get away with a TD5 bonnet. So if you were going to fit them into your Defender, there's 2 or 3 things you could do. You could fit my adapter mounts a little bit lower, but you do sacrifice the bump area between your front bump stops and the sump clearance. So just remember that. There's a reason why we've mounted it where we've mounted it, and that's to protect your sump from the front axle if it had come up at high speed.
What is the best BMW to buy as a donor for an M57?
I'm not telling people because it's putting my prices up further. But anyway, I'll give you a clue. It's an E46, but I'm not telling you what year. That's a trick one that you've got to find out for yourselves.
Would you always choose genuine door seals? The price difference is crazy.
Yes. So this is the difficult one. Well, it's not a difficult one. It's a very simple one. You get what you pay for, guys. You buy a Bentley, you get Bentley quality. You buy Tesco value, you get Tesco value. And what I absolutely despise about brick part cheapness, right, is how they get away with it. And, you know, I'll say this until I'm blue in my face, and the argument I've had with my supplier that supplies with brick part products. I'll give you an example. Alpine window seals. You try and get a brick part one in, you will sweat, you will stress, you will probably scratch your paintwork. Nah. But if you go and get a Land Rover one, it drops in. Same with the window seal, same with the window screen seal, same with the rear door seal. Buy genuine, buy quality, and it'll work.
Wondering why we don't hear more about the EcoBoost 2.3 litre?
So the EcoBoost, we had to park that project slightly because it grew legs. We had a lot of issues with standalone ECUs for them, and we didn't get the support that we wanted at the time from the ECU company. So that's the issue with that one. But we have got a Series 2A that we are converting. It is in motion. We have made a beautiful adapter plate to an R380 Stumpy, and I do need to get back on that project. So stay tuned. But what we have been doing is the B58.
How come you use the LS V8 engines instead of the Land Rover V8s?
Wow, that is an interesting one. So the LS V8s are simple. The LS V8s are very common. There's a lot of compact accessories for the LS. What I love about the LS, and this is me speaking from a business perspective, is that repeat, repeat, repeat. We know what we're doing with them. We know exactly how to tame them. We know exactly how to fuel them. And what I hate about Land Rover stuff is it's so complex. There's 2 cam sensors, there's 2 crank sensors on some of these motors, and it's frustrating. It's like, why do you have to have so many sensors? And the more sensors that are in there, the more chance of that you're going to ring me on a Saturday and go, Dave, my car doesn't start. And look at the 70th anniversary. Look under there. To me, it's not packaged well. It just doesn't look right. Look under the bonnet of one of my LS3s and tell me it's not packaged correctly.
5-speed in a 2.25 litre series.
Yes, it's doable. I would say an R380 Stumpy. Go for it.
If you were building a Defender to drive around the globe, which one and what mods or changes would you make?
So hands down, I would use Project Rodent as an example. Project Rodent has done Morocco twice now. Rob has driven that car halfway around the world, I want to say, so far. And it's never, ever, touch wood, missed a beat. Apart from when the engine mount fell off and it crushed the crank sensor wire and then it intermittently didn't want to run. But that was my fault for going too fast in the sand dunes.
Which factory-fitted Land Rover engine, pre-2004, would you trust for a 20,000-mile road trip?
Ooh. Which Land Rover engine? I would probably say the 200 TDI. The 200 TDI or the 300 TDI, providing it's a good one. And we've built it. but we are doing a rebuild on a TD5, so until this rebuild is complete and I've still got my hair left, I might change my mind.
Is it realistic to buy a Defender 90 or 110 for under 10k?
No.
That could be used as a daily?
No, absolutely not. Maybe I've seen some Pumas actually dropping in price, £16,000 for a bit of a tatty Puma 90. The market is really down right now, and I think that's because everybody had a go at it. Everyone was having a go at pimping Defenders, and they became like a flooded trend. But the classy, elegant ones are still up there with the top dogs.
Thoughts on a Defender TD5 to a BMW Autobox? Would you do this conversion?
So there's a guy that I know, Josh, that's done it, and I've noticed it the other day on social media that he was selling his gearbox. So that says to me that he's not happy with it. He's a guy that works his car quite frequently. I believe he's in the tree, arboriculture trade. So that says to me there's an issue. Like anything, when you're trying to put, let's go back to Project Christine, I put an 8-speed behind that. Not many people have done that behind that combination. So making that happen, it took a lot of head scratching and a lot of clever people to make it happen. So unless you've got the support from the tuning world and a lot of money to throw at investment of development, it's not going to happen very easily.
And last one, do you make boost pipes for sale? Got an M57N iron block going into a Puma Defender.
So if you buy my engine mounts, and I've said this time and time again, guys, if you buy my engine mounts, if you buy my cooling package, we can supply you the boost pipes. So A to B, we need to be in the same place. It makes sense. So if you require my boost pipes, guys, please mount it using my engine mounts, and you can buy the full package. I'll happily sell you A, B, and C. Thanks again for watching that question and answer, guys. I hope I've not bored you too much. Anyway, and if there's anything you want to know, do not be afraid to ask. Just don't ask what underwear I've got on. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye.